PUBG, and the plane has launched into Erangel with Shadow in his private helicopter. We've got a pretty decent circle. It's a pretty decent flight path as well. Sorry, I meant to say flight path. It's a north-south split. And yeah, what do you think, Crips? Where do you think these teams are going to drop?
Well, the plane literally flies through the center of the map, which means a lot of places will be accessible, except for the military base. So if any team does intend to go towards the military base, they're going to have to get control of vehicles first and then make their way down. Well, one of the teams that we have been talking about, Fnatic, used to prefer military base quite a lot, but right now they have changed their approach, and if I'm not wrong, you won't be going in the same place. During PUBG Mobile All-Stars, they went towards farm, and this time we have Lcraft in Yastaya. We also have surprisingly no teams heading towards Rozhok, which I expected to be a hot zone. Fnatic Ronak dropping in towards the school apartments. GODLIKE and the rest of Fnatic team trying to take control of Pachinki, which is great.
Yeah, so I mean, Rozhok is not exactly a very loot-heavy drop in PUBG Mobile. I think you're confusing it with the other version. But the circle has changed, and it is an East Circle. It's pretty good, very centrally located, and I think a lot of teams will not have to worry too much about rotations. Yes, we do have Mayhem going to, I think, Primorsk. If I'm not mistaken, they also dropped in Primorsk for PMAS.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and where is Fnatic? Team 13.
Well, Ronak is very far ahead of his team, very far behind his teammates, actually. For a second, I thought he was going to be dropping in school, but apparently that's not the case. Fnatic are going for the classic split approach, where they take the two compounds at the very southern edge of Erangel, and from there they go ahead and grab whatever they can get and head towards fights. Meanwhile, Mega, they are making their way towards the southern island. Not sure if they'll be going towards military base or Novo. I think Novo makes more sense, since it is the place in Circle. Scout OP, one of the best, the most mechanically gifted players in the country, picking up Ronak and acting as his personal Uber driver. Let's see where they head to now.
They are so adorable, aren't they? The two of them on the little bike. We had also Team Intense drop at Stalber as well. I'm not really sure what kind of strategy they're trying to pull there, but let's see if it works out for them. Fnatic is very interesting. They spread out. They dropped. They're very confident. You can see they're not playing together. They're playing in twos, and yep. It looks like they sort of know what they're doing, and a lot of teams from groups A and B are definitely going to be keeping their eyes on Fnatic, maybe taking some notes, and which is why Fnatic will want to hide some of their strategies, not really reveal everything that they're going to do in the later stages of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, speaking a bit about Fnatic, in the previous tournaments we saw them in, usually during the early stages, we do see them going for, settling in one particular area, in one particular big city. And then later on, as the tournament progresses, they try to split up and then loot the smaller compounds. This time it's different. They're going for the split strategy right off the bat.
Indeed, they are. Let's see what Mayhem also does. Everybody in Mayhem doesn't seem like they have great loot. So looting is still going to happen, and it's going to be a long rotate for them.
Definitely. And the clock is already ticking. 17 seconds left for the first circle to start shrinking, which means they don't really have a lot of time. Meanwhile, Team Mega very comfortable in Novo. The circle's upon them. Novo is one of those places where you can get the highest amount of loot. So I think these guys will probably have the highest amount of advantage as the game progresses, because they've been left alone. Nobody's really bothering them.
Yeah. I mean, and let's not forget that Team Megastars, who's on the screen right now. I mean, these guys are a sponsored team. They have a boot camp. I mean, these guys are definitely trained professionals. So let's hope that the Novo loot is kind to them. Yeah, it looks like it is pretty kind to them. As you can see, Paradox with his M4 and DP selection. Team 8, we have Supergirls, the all-girls team. I'm really rooting for them because I'm so proud to see Indian gamers, from both genders get represented in PUBG Mobile. That's pretty awesome. In 2020.
I am a bit concerned. Where's their fourth player?
Oh no!
I only saw 3 names on their team list.
Oh no! There might have been a disconnection.
Yeah, that's kind of concerning, having a man disadvantage right from the start.
Woman disadvantage.
Yeah,
yes,
sorry.
Let's not forget.
Player disadvantage. Let's opt for
player
neutral terms here.
There we go. And we've got M4D, Team 18, Team -40. We're going to just call you guys -40. Have Team 14, Fourier. Am I saying it correctly? Fourier. In the distance, looks like Ruthless sort of has an idea that there are players there. And they just camp this out. I love the trigger discipline that the professional players in the Indian esports scene have.
More than that, this is great to see a lot of teams opting to loot in the Milta Power area and the mini Milta area. Not really a really explored area. I mean, A lot of teams don't really prefer this because it's at the edge, and most of the times this place is out of the first circle. Now that it is, it's exciting to see teams opt to go loot in this area, and more than that, hardly anybody will ever disturb them. -40 on the other hand, they are an exception. They are also quite nearby, near the lumber mills and on the surrounding hillsides. So if these teams do decide to engage in battle, both of them will probably make it difficult for themselves, especially -40 since they're only roaming around and they're not looting much. They won't have as much loot as Team Fourier, who will be getting quite a good amount of scopes and attachments in the Mills of Power region. But
So
speaking of the circle, take it over.
Let's look at the circle. We've got Team 14, Team Fourier still around Milta Power. We've got Team 15, Intense, moved down from Stalber and in the circle, and unfortunately the map has disappeared. So we're back to Team Element, Team 11. Element Esports, another sponsored team with a bootcamp, I believe, in Delhi. Delhi or Pune?
I have no idea. I didn't even know they had a bootcamp. I know they were sponsored, but not sure they had a bootcamp. Speaking of bootcamps, I had the pleasure of visiting the Fnatic bootcamp a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah,
I'm tutor about that, so you guys can check it out.
You should check out that video where Crips with AFK Gaming did interview Aurum, and I would be very interested to know what kind of insights Aurum had in the upcoming PMCO group stages.
Well, I'm not sure if I should speak out the insights right now because Meta Paradox, he has a lot of players in his sights, and even Team Godlike is stepping into the fray. They blow up the car, and Encore is out. He's blown up to smithereens. I think even Vexy is in a lot of danger. He's desperately trying to get out of there, but he's getting plummeted by lead.
Godlike entering the fight, very aggressive. They just want to get those kills early on, and it looks like it's not looking good for Element as they rotate. Mega keeping his last stand as he has to face off against Scout OP himself, and he's getting peppered from the far end. Oh my god, the Crawlers player knocks him out, and unfortunately he's not going to be able to be revived soon. He's too far away from his teammates. Scout OP.
Before the first circle even pops, a lot of these teams getting caught in awkward rotations. Fnatic, it's obviously expected that these guys will try to take early fights. That's usually what their game style is. But I did not think Mega will be the ones who get caught in these situations. 3 teams in the vicinity. We have Fnatic, we have VSGCrawlers, and at the same time, we did spot Element, who have now retreated a bit far away.
They're going for the push. Fnatic is playing this aggressively. They're looking for Paradox. They're trying to sniff him out like a beagle would. Paradox needs to worry about what he's going to do next as he tries to third person Fnatic. He's in a very, very bad position here. He throws a molly. Here we go. Oh, Fnatic with Scout OP throwing a smoke. They know he's there. They're trying to nade him out.
But he's going to have to rely on a lot of backup from Swag. Paradox trapped in the last room up on the first floor, and Fnatic are surrounding him. But Swag gets naded. That's the only backup he had. Now Paradox is in danger.
This is not looking good for Mega. Such an early elimination is definitely going to affect their confidence. And we've got Team Icky Mafia in the far corner of the screen taking pot shots. They know something's going down. Ronak finally getting the kill on Swag, and Ash hitting Paradox, but Paradox from the grave manages to get Oasis. I guess he's going to feel pretty good about that, but I guess that's the end of Megastars.
Yep.
First team eliminated.
I mean, getting a kill beyond the grave is funny enough, but it doesn't really matter because Oasis will be easily revived, and nobody is close enough to Fnatic to actually challenge them. Fnatic, one of the favorites to win the entire tournament as a whole, have already taken a good amount of points in their bag, and now they're eyeing to take more. Mighty has been spotted. Ron doesn't connect the shots, but now they know exactly where they are. Do you think Fnatic will continue to push towards them?
I don't know. I mean, Fnatic is going to be feeling pretty good having drawn first blood with respect to a team, at least. And it just goes to show that they really know how to take fights. That was a very good push from them. And let's see how it plays out. We've got Team Element on the screen right now, trading shots with Team 20 Godlike. Cronton's team, for those of you who don't know, Cronton is, of course,
I think everyone knows.
YouTuber in India.
I think everyone knows who Cronton is.
I met Cronton at PMAS, and we had a small chat together. He's such a nice, humble guy. Big fan.
I mean, he's humble in person, but when it comes to the game, he is quite the opposite. He's super flashy, hits some ridiculous shots all the time. And his team, Godlike, are going for a really weird fortress approach right from the start. They're in the middle of nowhere. They built a little fortress out of vehicles, and even the terrain around them seems to cover them from all the directions. They were here hunting Team Mega. They managed to blow up one of their players, and then Mega was eventually finished off by Fnatic.
Yes.
And they know exactly where Element is also.
Yeah, Godlike actually started that entire skirmish, and Looks like VSGCrawlers are also taking some heat from the far compound in the corner. Let's look at the map. The circle has changed to North Yasnia circle, and it's going to be interesting to see how all these teams. Yep, Godlike's like, enough is enough. Let's get in the car. Let's go. Everybody's keeping eye on the circle. Nobody wants to be left behind, as all these teams will slowly make their way all the way from the south, central part of the map, to the north. Not sure what M40 is doing right at the edge of the circle. What are your thoughts, Chris?
Well, M40 is in a lot of trouble. They are the furthest behind, and all these teams will be rushing towards Yasnaya. Some of them will actually get in the city. Some of them will settle to, take positions in the small little compounds at the southern edge of the circle. Fnatic fast on their vehicles. Somehow, this team Hyper has not been able to connect a single shot. They're missing a lot of them. They have taken one of the compounds, though, which is good for them, so that they can, even though they missed the shots on Fnatic, they should be able to catch pretty much every other team in transition. It's one of the only compounds available, and this is a good place to hold.
Yeah, I hope
the warehouse is also
see
available.
Some more of action like this, where we have teams just take compounds, hunker down, and just play the circle safely. But for the sake of the viewers, hopefully some vehicular combat would be very nice. I really particularly like how all these teams have picked up vehicles, and of course, Erangel is the go-to map for most of these teams. They know the map inside out, the back of their hand. We've got Team 18 aggroing, -40 aggroing. Team Hype. -40. Shots connect. Ruthless is not looking good. Oh, he escapes with the skin of his teeth.
That was a close call. Really close indeed. If Team Hyper would have gotten that knock onto one of the players over there, then the entire team would have had to stop and try to revive him, or just leave him there for the dead. That's not a good thing to happen.
Wouldn't have been a good place to get now. And now we have Fnatic Scout OP taking pot shots at Team 9, VSGCrawlers. Now we've got Sahil 2K from Team Ecstasy. I'm not too familiar with this team. Do you know anything about Team Ecstasy?
Not really. One of the players is called Venom, which is surprisingly a similar name to you.
It is exactly the same name as me. Thank you for
calling
me.
He has an X in the name, which I don't think you
so
put.
He's Ven XM.
Alright then. Enough jokes about similar names, but the joke here is, even though these two teams are really close to each other in Mansion, they haven't started fighting yet. I'm assuming they will start fighting later on, but pretty much all of -40 is in one house, and the other team is surrounding them from every direction. Speaking of surrounding,
we've got Team Intense.
Yeah.
We got Team Intense taking shots at Aztec ESP and knocking Satan. Holy shit! Ryder is not afraid to get that thirst. He's going up that car. Yep, he is. He's trying to make a point there. He's like, hey man, I'm still shooting at you. Out of cover. Oh, he gets the explosion, but it doesn't get a knock. It doesn't have any collateral damage there whatsoever.
It did damage them a bit, but it's not enough. So I guess they will be safe, at least for the next few moments. But I don't think they have an easy way out of there. And when I talk about easy ways, Venom, the man we spoke so highly about before, has spotted the other team. It seems like the fight will be breaking out in Mansion anytime soon. It's going to be a problem for both, as they managed to get one of the knocks.
Oh my god, -40 getting aggroed from two teams. We've got the Team Ecstasy sort of positioning themselves to get a better look at... Oh, and he's cooking a nade. Sahil kind of knows what he wants to do here. This is not looking good for M40 as they get Nexus OP knocked. I'm sorry, I did miss the team that was shooting at M40.
While we talk about that, somewhere in the background, Fnatic and GODLIKE have started fighting, and they've finished off Smokey from Team GODLIKE. But this is the perfect time for Team Ecstasy to push in towards the players of -40 who are thinking of escaping. I think they're a bit too late as Ruthless tries to go in, and he's going to get instantly knocked. Sahil 2K with a shot to the head will finish him off as well. His teammates now realize they have no choice but to fight, and they try to take positions in and around the smoke so that they can get the flanks onto their teammates. Carnage trying to third person from the edge of the house, making sure that Team Ecstasy don't have a way around the left-hand side and are forced to move in from the balcony and from the doorways. But they are susceptible to nades at this point, and they're going for the reverse flank. Another nade pops in, and here comes... Oh wait, this is another fight happening in some other place. Sonic does manage to get a kill onto two players. And that's a good shot, but they're out in the open, and other teams can third-party them. They finally try to escape. It's this time Team Ecstasy were trying to go down, but both of them get knocked. Nexus OP with hope.
What a double kill, and he goes for the thirst as well. Yep. He's not messing around. M40 back in the game with 3 players, just 1 man down, and they completely almost eliminate Team Ecstasy. Sahil 2K, last man standing with 1 HP, and he's down. M40 making a point here that, hey, you shouldn't have pushed us. Unfortunately, their vehicles all damaged, and they are 1 man down with Ruthless dying. Nexus OP trying to get in that car. We've got Team 8 Supergirls rotating into the circle, maybe looking for a better spot.
Nobody damages them enough, but they are getting shot at. The car is about to blow up.
Really needs to get out as quickly as possible. Tanisha and Amisha. Oh, and Riddhi explodes! Riddhi explodes as Team Aztec. Team Aztec gets her, and she is now out in the open.
Oh, she's been spotted as well. She's getting shot at.
She got instant. Sorry, my bad. Unfortunately, really got instant. That's a very bad place for the Supergirls, as they are kind of caught in the middle of nowhere.
Yep, they're surrounded by Team Aztec, Team Intense, and GODLIKE. Once again, GODLIKE, they have taken a center position in the middle of nowhere, setting up with their cars. Meanwhile, Fnatic was safe in Yasna up until now, but look at the next circle. Oh, this is perfect for GODLIKE. Element will have to move in, and they are in the grass fields, the brown grass fields, where there's literally no cover except for one small ridge. This is going to be a bloodbath on the northern end. There's hardly any cover in any place, so cars are going to be super relevant. And as I talk about that, the firefights start happening already. VSGCrawlers getting a knock onto one of the other players of Supergirls.
We've got Icky Mafia now dropping shots on Team 15, Team Intense. Pain, dropping some pain down the screen right now.
But so far, Team Intense are safe behind the smokes. One of the players was knocked out, and he probably will be revived. But while I say that, Team Intense start getting attacked from another one. Mayhem have Hyper in their sights. Another player from Team Intense hits the ground, and he will be killed as well. This is not good. Luckily, they have some cover behind the rocks and the cars, but they need to move them quickly.
It looks like Team Mayhem also is at a one-man disadvantage, where their fourth player is missing. And Aztec, in the meanwhile, trading with VSGCrawlers as they keep trading team members. GODLIKE, Gil, entering the fray with a few knocks right there. Unfortunately, we're not seeing much of this. And here we go. Oh, that beautiful nade. Aztec with the Kobe on Craw Avi.
He got two people down with that nade. That's a double Kobe. A miraculous one, and it's perfectly positioned. The Molotov is there as well. So maybe Aztec can be held at bay, but they continue bombarding them. They've got 3 players knocked already, and Aztec is getting a lot of kills. They just need to finalize them. Here they go in for the fray, but VSGCrawlers hold the fort. They are trying to keep themselves alive, but they're getting sprayed from every direction and getting flanked as well. And they will finally be out. VSGCrawlers, they are in a lot of trouble. Rowan?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. The circle is here. We've got Scout OP, who's just looting, and everybody seems to be in the circle. Everybody seems to be pretty safe. The Aztecs are now going to probably finish off Supergirls, if I'm getting their names right. And yeah, we've got firefights happening all over the place. 9 teams as Mayhem gets a knock on Team Hype. It's just a bloodbath here.
Ooh, double nades. Interesting.
I love how Fnatic is setting up their smokes and their vehicles. Very, very interesting play there. They only have to worry about Team Element south of them. But the circle has changed and has screwed everybody. It looks like all the teams on the far left of the screen will have to make their way south to the safe zone. Not only Fnatic, but also Team Element. Not really sure what Prince is trying to do here. This could be an observer glitch. Oh, it is, but he gets punched. Element reloading. Let's go. What's the plan here? They don't seem to be rotating at all.
Definitely not. It could be a bit problematic.
Fnatic dropping lead on Team Aztec. Ronak just letting them know that, hey, we're still here, as he makes a move towards their cars. It's going to be interesting to see how Fnatic takes advantage of this huge circle disadvantage. And they are slowly rotating, including Team 14. Fourier also rotating. We've got Oasis looking at Dangi OP, and he gets the knock. Mayhem Cloak finishing off Frost from Team Element. It is up to Oasis now to find these players and finish them.
But they're hiding behind a ridge. Ronak gets knocked out by a nade. That could be a problem because IM is right on top of them, and they continue to bombard. Another knock. Even Ash is out. Scout, he tries to save them by getting 1 kill with the AK-47, but he's low on health. Still trying to fire away and keep the enemies at bay, but Scout also goes down. Fnatic are now down to a lot of players. They have just 1 more remaining. It all depends upon Oasis to save their team from sudden elimination.
Yeah, it looks like Oasis has managed to get Ronak back up and is now time to res Ash. They do have Fourier to worry about in that ridge over there, but unfortunately, Scout OP got knocked as well. This was a huge issue for Fnatic, but they're all back in the game. They're all 4 players back in the game, and that's what teams who are watching this need to understand, that every player in Fnatic sort of knows how to hold their ground, they know how to cover each other. Spade on from Ash as he gets the Fourier team member down, but he gets traded, unfortunately, by Neo Nike from Icky Mafia. Oh, this is a mess for Fnatic as they get aggroed. Ash is eliminated.
And while they are busy battling the team Icky Mafia, One player from Fourier is in the grass, and he's hoping that he can pick up the last 2 remaining Fnatic players. This play zone is an absolute mess, as half of it is on the hills. Somehow, Ronak does manage to get the kill onto the last Fourier player, and Team Fourier will be eliminated.
Icky Mafia not letting Fnatic, and they eliminate Fnatic. Oh, this is gonna feel so good for Icky Mafia. They went for the kills. They knew they had the knocks. They knew they had the advantage. They were like, you know what, we're not going to let Fnatic win this. This is not a good situation for Fnatic. They're going to be very, very unhappy about this situation. And we've got Mayhem on the screen here. All 3 players, unfortunately, 1 player missing, so they are at a clear disadvantage. Let's see if Mayhem can convert this into a win despite the disadvantage. And they take a couple of shots at Team Element, and they knock Ultron. It is up to Gubber to now res Ultron. And we've got, of course, M40 in very close range of Lcraft Esports as well on the hill. M40 Nexus knocks him. M40 Nexus thirsts him.
But somehow Shadow is really far away from his team. He's not playing alongside them. He's just trying to keep Team Element in check and continue raiding fire upon them. He does manage to do a little bit of damage, but can't secure the kills. Now he has to make a decision. Does he go for the revive? He's not. Element Prince strikes him down. This is the one thing that Team Element needed to keep Mayhem away from them. And while that's happening, Nuke has an array of Team Element players, knocked out Element players, who he can completely finish off without any mercy whatsoever and steal a couple of points for himself.
Meanwhile, Team 40 knocking out Lcraft on the hill house over there. The 2 players remaining. Unfortunately, we did miss this fight off the screen, but Carnage and Nexus OP playing really well. Unfortunately, Carnage gets knocked by the play zone, and Zaref finally finishes off Nike, if I'm not mistaken. I'm so sorry.
Doesn't matter.
It's just chaos on the screen right now.
Utter chaos. Prince is the last surviving member of Team Element, and I know he can't do much over here, but maybe he can still keep hiding or finish off the remaining Icky Mafia players and steal a couple of points for his team. M40 over here have the biggest advantages. They are on top of the hills. Icky Mafia have a little cover of 1 little lone rock, and whatever cover they can get from the ridge, it doesn't really count for much.
Yeah, so we've got 3 players in Icky Mafia, 2 players in Mayhem, 2 players in M40, 1 player in M40, unfortunately, Nexus OP, and 1 player in Team Element. So it's a 3v1v1v2. Did I get that right? Yes.
Yeah, you did get that right. Prince, he removes his backpack so that he can't be spotted so easily through the grass. It does make your body a little flatter, but there's no guarantee that they won't be spotting him because they are nading his surroundings. They know that he's somewhere in that vicinity. All it takes is 1 nade, an unfortunate nade that will finish him off for good. Mayhem are keeping a low profile.
Oh my god, the play zone unfortunately knocks Nexus OP. Am I getting that right? Yes, I am. Unfortunately, M40 is out of the game. We've got 3 teams remaining. We've got Mayhem, we've got Icky Mafia, and we've got Team Element. Did not expect the play zone to take a player from M40, unfortunately. Just did not happen. Nike gets knocked, gets tossed by Cloak. Mayhem now evening the fields. It's a 2v1.
And that's the thing, right? Nuke was playing away from his team, hoping that he will be able to gather information and relay it to his teammates. He was playing as a scout, and now the scout is dead. Now, Icky Mafia have no information whatsoever.
Oh my god!
Round. No! Prince gets the better of him. They knew exactly where Prince was. They knew he was somewhere in that area, but they did not account for him because they were too busy fighting off the other team. And Prince, the lone surviving member, will be able to get a couple more points for his team. There's no way. No, wait! What?
Cloak takes the kill. Cloak takes the kill. What a beautiful play by Cloak. I gotta say, Prince is the MVP of his team. Look at him getting those position points for his teammates. I gotta say, like, they're gonna be so happy with him. And Navjot sees him, and Navjot takes out Prince. He's like, enough is enough. And ELMNTEsports is knocked, and the winners are, of course, Mayhem coming in first, Icky Mafia coming in second, Team Element coming in third, 4th place M40, 5th place Lcraft.